The day the big client was scheduled to visit, a wave of tension swept through the entire company. Everyone felt the pressure, knowing this meeting could make or break the quarter. Min, ever the composed leader, gathered the team. He began assigning tasks, his voice calm but firm, making sure each person knew their role. His eyes lingered on Mai for a moment longer as he handed her the most critical part of the presentation. A murmur of surprise went through the room, but no one dared to question his decision. Mai, feeling the weight of expectation, poured her heart and soul into the work. She double-checked every number, polished every slide, and rehearsed her speech until it was flawless. Her performance during the preliminary run-through was nothing short of brilliant. The data was clear, the arguments were compelling, and her delivery was confident. From the back of the room, Min watched her, a rare, almost imperceptible smile gracing his lips. He saw the potential he knew was there, now shining for all to see. But not everyone was pleased. Trin, watching from the sidelines, felt a bitter sting of jealousy. Seeing Mai receive all the praise, especially from Min, was more than she could bear. Driven by envy, she waited for her moment. When Mai stepped away from her laptop for just a minute, Trin quickly approached the desk. With a few swift clicks, she altered a crucial number in the financial projections, a small change that would have catastrophic consequences, making it look like a careless error on Mai's part. Just moments before the clients were due to arrive, Mai decided to do one last, final review. I scanned the slides, a nervous habit she couldn't shake. Suddenly her heart stopped. The number, it was wrong. A cold dread washed over her as she realized the implications. Panic set in. How could she have made such a mistake? She knew she had checked it a dozen times. As her mind raced, piecing together the timeline, she remembered Trin lingering near her desk. The sickening realization hit her. This was no accident. It was sabotage. As the clients were being escorted into the conference room, Trin seized her chance. She loudly pointed out the mistake to a senior manager, making sure everyone, including Min, could hear. I just noticed a major error in the financial data, she said, her voice dripping with false concern. This could have been a disaster. All eyes turned to Mai, who stood frozen, her face pale. But before she could even defend herself, Min stepped forward. I am aware of that figure, he said, his voice cutting through the tension. I personally instructed Mai to use that projection as part of a stress test scenario we were running. It was never intended for the final presentation. Thank you for your diligence, Trin. But the correct file is already loaded. A collective sigh of relief filled the room, but for Trin, it was a moment of pure humiliation. Min's quick thinking had not only saved the presentation, but had also subtly exposed her malicious intent without making a direct accusation. She stood there, her face burning with shame, unable to meet anyone's gaze. Mai looked at Min, her heart overflowing with a feeling she couldn't quite name. It was more than just gratitude. He had protected her, defended her in front of everyone. In that moment, she saw a side of him she had never seen before. Later that evening, after the successful client meeting had wrapped up and the office was quiet, Mai received a text from Min. Meet me on the rooftop. Her heart fluttered. She found him standing by the railing, looking out at the city lights. He turned as she approached, his usual stoic expression replaced with something softer, more vulnerable. Mai, he began, his voice low, you were incredible today. But it's not just about today. For a while now, He paused, searching for the right words. I've come to care about you a lot more than just as a colleague. The air grew thick with unspoken emotions. Mai's breath hitched, her body trembling slightly. His confession was everything she had secretly hoped for, yet it terrified her. Min, sensing her unease, took a small step closer, his hand reaching out as if to steady her. But instinctively, Mai took a step back. The small movement was like a physical blow to Min. The hope in his eyes vanished, replaced by a deep, unmistakable hurt. His hand dropped back to his side. I'm sorry, Mai whispered, her voice barely audible. I need some time. This is all happening so fast. Min just gave a single painful nod, unable to speak. Without another word, Mai turned and fled, tears finally streaming down her cheeks as she ran from the rooftop. Leaving Min alone with the city lights and his shattered confession, Min gripped the cold metal railing, his knuckles white. The rejection stung more than he could have ever imagined. Just then, he heard footsteps. It was Trin. "I knew she wasn't right for you," she said softly, trying to sound sympathetic as she placed a hand on his arm. Min recoiled as if burned. "Leave me alone, Trin," he said, his voice cold and sharp. "I've told you before. It will never be you." He turned and walked away, leaving her standing there, his rejection turning her simmering jealousy into a hardened, bitter resolve. Mai couldn't bear to stay at the office a moment longer. She packed her things and went home early, her mind a whirlwind of confusion and regret. Her mother took one look at her tear-stained face and knew something was terribly wrong. She wrapped her daughter in a hug, and Mai finally broke down completely, sobbing uncontrollably in her mother's arms, unable to explain the ache in her heart. Back at the deserted office, Min sat alone in the dark, replaying the rooftop scene over and over. Outside, a gentle drizzle began to fall, soon turning into a heavy downpour, mirroring the storm inside him. Miles away, Mai was also watching the rain, her thoughts consumed by him. She thought of his pained expression, the way he defended her, the vulnerability in his voice. She couldn't stand the thought of him being hurt because of her. Suddenly, Min stood up and walked out of his office right into the pouring rain. He didn't have an umbrella, nor did he seem to care. He just let the cold water soak him to the bone, as if hoping it could wash away the pain. From a window across the street, Trin watched him, her expression a mask of pure anger. Mai, overwhelmed with worry, pulled out her phone and typed a simple message. "Are you okay?" Min's phone buzzed in his pocket. He pulled it out and saw Mai's text. As he read the words, a single tear escaped and mingled with the rain on his face. The fact that she was still thinking of him, that she still cared, was both a comfort and a new kind of torture. He couldn't bring himself to reply. He just stood there, drenched and heartbroken, staring at her name on the screen.
I waited.
Her eyes glued to her phone, but no reply came. After what felt like an eternity, Min walked back into the office building, dripping water all over the pristine lobby floor. The skeleton crew of late-night workers gasped when they saw their boss completely soaked and looking utterly defeated. The news spread through the office group chat like wildfire. When Mai saw the messages, a wave of panic washed over her. Without a second thought, she grabbed her keys and rushed back to the office. She found him standing in the middle of the main workspace, still dripping wet, staring blankly into the distance. "Min," she breathed out. He turned, and their eyes met across the room. For a split second, the entire world fell away. All the pain, the confusion, the unspoken feelings hung in the air between them. But then the mask was back. Min abruptly turned away, breaking the connection, and walked towards his office without a word. Mai stood frozen in place, watching him go, silent tears streaming down her face once more. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the next episode.